Good evening. Happy Wellness Wednesday. I want to finish this chapter, you guys. Want some? Okay. So I am reading from this book right here, The Infinite Human. It is an Ascension guide. Ascension to me, you guys, is what we come here to do. We're all spiritual beings having a human experience. We come here to experience life, learn, go, expand, and evolve. We come here to do inner work, to wake up, to remember who we are, to purify, to detox our bodies, to cleanse ourselves, to do personal development, to rewire our limiting beliefs, to remove the layers of who we thought we were, who the world taught us to be, and all the limiting beliefs, stories, and the things that we've compounded on top of who we actually are underneath that all. So I believe right now we are in this time of great awakening. Ascension, the rapture, is energetic. We are moving to a higher level of consciousness, 5D consciousness. So 5D as opposed to 3D. 3D is the material world, very fear-based, war, poverty, sickness, scarcity, lack. 5D is the new earth. This is a new way of being for humanity. This is about abundance, peace, love, joy, more of our true divine spiritual nature, waking up, taking our power back as divine, infinite, eternal creators, co-creators, and we are here to create this new earth. I believe this time has been prophesied and promised for a long time. It's just highly distorted and greatly misunderstood. But let's pick up where I was yesterday. So this is part 3, you guys. If you want to go back, you can check out part 1 and 2. Talking real quick about how to activate the pineal gland. If thine eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. We are beings of pure unconditional love and light, but we are dumbed down, drugged up, and disempowered. Our third eye chakra is targeted, our pineal gland, specifically with fluoride. It calcifies it, closes it up, closes off our connection with the infinite, with the divine, with God, whatever you choose to call the infinite, eternal, creative source that is creating all things, good and bad. All right, so it's even in scripture. It says, good and evil, light and dark, I, the Lord God, create all things. There's the baby awake? One infinite, eternal, creative source. And we are it. Love. We fall into this illusion of fear here in this world. False evidence appearing real. Because it's a false ascension matrix. A false ascension timelines that are based on fear and keep humanity trapped in fear. We keep creating based on fear, right? So there has been a war on human consciousness, but we are seeing this shift in consciousness. We are waking up and taking our power back, and this is a huge part of it. So how do you activate your pineal gland? There are so many who have had their kundalini rise and their third eye open spontaneously, even prematurely, or before they had acquired enough spiritual maturity to assimilate this rapid change in perspective. Because when you start to wake up to these things, holy shift, holy shift, holy shift, whole new level of awareness. We are kind of just walking around head in the clouds, la-di-da-di-da. We're here for self-realization, to evolve to higher levels of self, to know thyself, to know who we truly are, to learn to love ourselves. And so it has to happen little by little, because if we just learned the truth, if there was full disclosure, like our whole entire paradigm, our whole world would come crashing down, because everything that we think we thought we knew is pretty much been a lie. The world as we know it, okay? We're taught to focus on the material and everything outside of us, and we neglect our inner world, our true divine spiritual nature. We create from the inside out, as within, so without. So if our inner world is a mess, hence why the outer world and the world as we know it is a mess, right? So there could so there's a rapid change in perspective when your third eye opens. You start to see things more clearly from a more spiritual level. So they could instantaneously see auras or hear people's thoughts, know things before they happened, and we're told they were insane, right? We're not taught to cultivate our spiritual gifts. We're taught a lot of times that these things are bad, right? They're evil. We have been taught to fear being different, fear our power, fear being awake, because it is equated with being crazy. Leonardo da Vinci said, we're not crazy, we're awake in a crazy world. Everyone out there is crazy. They think we're crazy because we know the truth. The truth, universal, absolute truth, that we are powerful creators, and we get to choose, because we get to choose what we create, because we're beings of free will and choice. We create life. Okay? So, because we are connected to this infinite creative source, and we are all co-creators in this world. And as we each co-create, as we each create our own reality, our own version of heaven on earth, we are changing the collective. As we change ourselves, we change the world, we change everything around us, okay? That's why the greatest gift we can give the world is that of our own transformation. That's why it's been my personal mission to transform the world one person at a time. And I started with myself, because all change and transformation begins within, right? So waking up has to happen in increments, because there's just too much that we've been lied to about. So in a crazy world, it'll always be the sane ones who are considered crazy. Like I said, Leonardo da Vinci said, we're not crazy, we're awake in a crazy world. These abilities are the real norm. We're not taught to cultivate our spiritual gifts. We're taught that these things are bad, right? My camera just turned into night mode. Let me see. I don't know if that's affecting how you guys see. I'm going to switch it back. Okay, there we go. So this is the way Infinite Source created you to be. I have a friend from Iceland who possessed this second sight when she was young, and without knowing what to do with it, she became frightened by her own power. We're not taught, again, to cultivate these spiritual gifts. So she wanted to be normal, so she went to a woman who turned off her psychic abilities. Of course, there is fear around owning our divine technology, our infinite multidimensional abilities, and many of us have turned them off without even knowing it, and understandably so. Historically, those who possess these abilities were hunted down and murdered in horrible ways, right? Like burned at the stake because there were witches or whatever, right? Or Jesus was killed because he said, because he created miracles and he claimed to be God, because he understood I and the Father are one, that we are connected to God, source, universe, divine intelligence, infinite creator, whatever you choose to call it, right? So, but we are in an ascension cycle. Right now, we're in this time where we're seeing this shift in consciousness. People are awakening. We are ascending to higher levels of consciousness. It's what we're here to do. Enlightenment, nirvana, Christ consciousness, Brahman consciousness, unity consciousness. It's been called many things throughout time and history, throughout different cultures and religions, but it's the same thing. It's a human work. It's a work that must be done within ourselves. So being an infinite human is our natural state. We are infinite and eternal. We are energy. We are spirit. We are soul. Energy doesn't die. It transforms. So more and more of us are standing up every day, reclaiming and owning our true power. There is emerging on the face of the earth a new human, an infinite human, and that human is you. Namaste, right? The power is within each and every one of us. Many people today are engaging in practices to cleanse their pineal and force open their third eye. I too took this route by forcing the rise of my kundalini through the breath of fire. This is a very challenging path. This is what you need to be aware of if you feel called to do that. Like many, I had not completely healed from my trauma and inner wounds, which caused me to feel fear, sadness, anger, etc., which sometimes pulled me into lower frequencies of the astral plane as I purged these emotions. It's what we're here to do. Purify, purge, detox, heal, transform. It's what we come here to do. Earth is a ground for spiritual growth and soul evolution, right? And everything's energy, frequency, vibration. So we're in these lower frequencies, and we want to ascend to higher frequencies above the worry line. We want to move out of fear and survival, guilt, blame, shame, victim, anger, unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, and into joy, peace, gratitude, love, right? Higher vibrations, higher frequencies. And so this is much like sinking into the deepest fathoms of the ocean and then opening your eyes and looking around. If you do, you may see hideous glowing fish with huge monstrous teeth swimming around you, whereas on the surface, in the higher frequencies, you may see dolphins playing in the sunshine. My point is that opening your third eye allows you to see the world around you, the good, the bad, and the ugly of where you are vibrationally. Okay? Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world and your vibration and what you are putting out, whether you're aware of that or not. 90% of what we do is based on unconscious programming. We're just running on habits, patterns of thinking, being, and doing. Our personality, how we act, think, and feel every day becomes our personality, and our personality creates our personal reality. So to change your reality, you must change yourself. You must become somebody new. You have to decide, who do I want to become? And then step into that version of yourself, right? And so it's all about your perception. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So which many do not want to do. So having the second sight also means you can only see or access the dimensions or frequencies that you are attuned to. For example, at many psychic fairs and in the New Age communities, I encountered psychics who were ghost hunters or read the Akashic records or communicated with angels. This is all good for them to develop their skills, but who are they communicating with? What radio frequency or channel are they tuning into? Being psychic does not necessarily mean you are evolved enough to ascend to the God source frequency of truth or raise your vibrational frequency enough to pierce the veil of illusion by transmuting your own inner wounds. This does not mean you are attuned to the higher dimensions of the God source worlds. If you still have shadows that open portals in your aura, then you are tapping into the astral plane of illusion and are being manipulated by the demonic entities. So the question remains, from whom or what are you receiving your guidance? Many who are afraid to see the bad we are now witnessing in the world are also afraid to see the bad inside of themselves. So I'm not about spiritual bypassing. I am about going within and facing your own demons and doing the inner work and changing yourself, right? As a result, they remain locked in the world of illusion. If we don't do the inner work, we remain locked in the world of illusion, comfortable in the finite limits of their ego. We're here to release our ego, to level up, to evolve, to expand, not to stay the same. Change is the only constant, you guys, in the universe, right? So we want to release the limits of our ego and the astral plane of false spirituality. I have known many psychics like this who possess uncanny abilities but have not triumphed over their own inner shadows, nor humbled their ego to the divine will of infinite God source. As a result, their motives are self-serving and manipulative. This is why traditionally the opening of the third eye occurs gradually as the adept rises in frequency, transmuting the astral world of illusion. Then and only then can you reside in the higher frequencies of the truth, found only in the God source worlds. Many people use drugs and alcohol to open their third eye, but even natural substances like ayahuasca, mushrooms, marijuana, etc., may temporarily augment your psychic abilities, but they will not sustain you to the higher frequencies. You have to attune yourself. You have to assimilate. You have to recalibrate and restructure your DNA and your cells to be able to sustain higher frequencies, higher vibrations. That requires inner work. This is why when people go to psychedelics, they may have a good trip or a bad trip depending on where they are at vibrationally, right? Earth's history is filled with oracles, soothsayers, witches, witch doctors, psychic readers, etc., who could not tune into the higher frequency of infinite source. Thus, their guidance came from false light entities or demonic forces of the astral world. Their advice, often given to powerful leaders, served to push forward the dark agendas. We have to be careful with false light matrix and getting trapped in and not actually doing the inner work. This is why I recommend a holistic or holy approach to the holy see or third eye opening. It is important to heal and raise your frequency first. Then the opening of your third eye is a natural part of activating your DNA and your light body. So we have so-called junk DNA. Our Creator did not make us with junk. This is dormant DNA. It can be activated to reach higher levels of potential. We actually have crystalline DNA. Crystalline is the fourth state of matter. It's like a crystallized form of DNA, right? If you see in like movies, a lot of times they hold information in crystals. That's because literally our technology, our phones, our computers have crystals in them as well, because it holds information. All right, so where were we? We have been spiritually conditioned to believe that our physical bodies are mortal coils, unholy vessels, and when we are freed from them, we will ascend to paradise. This sin, or missing the mark, has kept many people imprisoned in their genetically downgraded and physically impaired carbon bodies without ever knowing that our bodies are divine holographic software programs that contain our consciousness. Enslave the body and you enslave the mind. Enslave the mind and you enslave the soul. It's a war on human consciousness. Keep us focused on the material, neglecting our inner world, not understanding how our emotions work, how our thoughts work, how powerful we truly are. Keep us dumbed down, drugged up, and disempowered, giving our power to the systems that enslave us. And so, lose freedom over your body, and you lose your freedom of your mind and soul. Ascension is transmuting or upgrading all your bodies, your physical, mental, spiritual, astral, all of your bodies. Where was I? Upgrading all your bodies, thus freeing your consciousness and escaping the prison matrix. But we have been conditioned to believe this is either unattainable or reserved only for a privileged few like the Christ or the Buddha. We're all here for enlightenment, nirvana. Like I said, Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, oneness. It's what we are all here to do, the inner work, to ascend to higher levels. This is human transformation, you guys. Level up, level up, level up, level up. Right? We're not supposed to stay the same. We are here to grow, to experience life, learn, grow, expand, and evolve. So we have to release our mind, our consciousness from this false prison matrix, this fear-based narrative that we believe this is just the way the world is. War, poverty, sickness, scarcity, lack, division, separation. There's nothing we can do about it. We're powerless. It's bullshit, you guys. The entire system is bullshit, and it's created to keep us enslaved. Okay? All right, so Ascension is transmuting all this, doing the inner work, purging, releasing. But we have been conditioned, So this is an inside job, which I keep saying. It's an inside job. You can only do the work for yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. Nothing outside of you is going to come and save you. Nothing outside of you is going to do the work for you. That's the whole thing. Keep people looking outside, waiting for something outside of themselves. Then we neglect our inner world, and everyone's a mess inside. As within, so without, right? So this is why no one, same thing she just said here in the book, you have to do your own inner work. No one else can do it for you. But nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to take radical responsibility for their own free will and choice. This isn't me. I'm not creating this. It's God. It's Satan. It's the devil. It's something outside of me. And we give our power away. No, we're beings of free will and choice. We get to choose what we create. And it starts with choosing what we think, what we feel, because our thoughts and our emotions are creative energy, and they create our reality. We need to have them working together. Brain and heart coherence. Your thoughts are the electrical signal. Your emotions are energy in motion, the magnetic signal. Together they create an electromagnetic field around you that either attracts or repels certain things to you. Okay, so this is an inside job accomplished day by day, moment by moment, which requires the mindful practice of continuously shifting your perceptions. Holy shift, right? Making the shift, shifting your perceptions, shifting your stories, shifting your mindset, shifting your inner world to shift your outer world. So it's an inside job of reality, which can only be accomplished by freeing your infinite self from your finite self. You have to do your own inner work. No one else said that already. Okay, it's so important. You have to do the inner work for you. Hi, Jackie. Hello, hello. So no one else can do it for you, but nobody wants to hear that, which is why we live in a world where everyone is lining up for the next shot, pill, or cure, or in the spiritual communities where everyone flocks to the latest leaders who are talking about something outside of them that will do it for them. Of course, we all need hope, inspiration, and information, but the truth is simple. It is a vibrational frequency. Love is the only truth. Everything else is an illusion. Love is the highest frequency or vibration in the universe. Second only, gratitude's the second, love is the highest. God is love, the highest vibration. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was made flesh. The Word is frequency, sound, vibration. It's the reason that you can hear my voice wherever you are in the world right now on your device. It's the reason you can see me. None of this will be possible without quantum physics, the concept of quantum physics, that everything's energy. Because how can I be here and you see me all over the world on all these different devices? Because I am light. I am information. And this magical device breaks down the light and the information, the sound and the frequency, and it sends it through to your device so you can see me. This goes back to it being a holographic universe, like the holographic bookmark, that if you cut it into 1,000 pieces, each piece will contain the whole, right? So, but this is Ascension is an inner work. It's a work we must do for ourselves. Nobody can do it for us. Raising our own frequency. As we ascend in frequency, you may have dramatic aha moments or revelations as the puzzle pieces fall into place. Holy shift moments, right? And you'll obtain more clarity, but as above, so below. Like everything in life worth having, it requires work, effort, and dedication. In order to ascend, you must drop your lower densities, lighten up. We got to drop out of fear, anger, guilt, survival, blame, shame, victim, move up the vibrational scale above the worry line, like I said, into peace, fulfillment, joy, gratitude, love, higher vibrations, higher frequencies. But humanity, we've just been so dumbed down, drugged up, and disempowered. We're trained to live in fear, conditioned to create this fear-based world So we have to lighten up, laugh, have fun, enjoy life. Then there is a quickening in acceleration of your cells into higher frequency. This can feel like a rapture or feeling of ecstasy. This is why I say the rapture is energetic in nature. We're not physically being taken off of this earth. We are ascending into higher levels of consciousness. Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, oneness, where we understand we're one body, one mind, one consciousness, that we all have our own individual power to co-create our own reality. We're all creating our own little world, our own little thing, whatever we choose. But what we are, then we have this collective idea of how the world works, and we all believe it to be true, and so it is, and we create it. The root work all the way up. Wait, what? That root work all the way up? Are you talking about like chakras doing? So where was I here? Uh-oh. Where was I? Over here. The rapture. But this is the natural state. So you just have to learn to maintain that frequency and not be pulled back down into the lower frequencies of duality by your triggers. So we get triggered and we go unconscious. We fall back into old patterns of blame, shame, victim, right? We have to calibrate to these higher frequencies. This is the gift of the dark side, to test you. If you pass all the tests, you get the reward, ecstasy, not the drug. The truth is all addictions are simply our search for that natural state of joy within that only our connection to divine infinite source can give us. It's within us. God is within us. God is not this thing outside of us that, right? No, it's within us. We are the temples for creative source energy. We are the hands and the feet. We are powerful creators, and we get to choose what we create. So choose love. Choose love, right? As our organic earth goes through its ascension, you too will rise your frequencies and your divine organic DNA will be activated. Again, we have so-called junk DNA. It's not junk, it's dormant. When you activate this DNA, we activate higher levels of potential. Okay? So, which explains why the dark side is testing you now to see if you will take the easy path of the masses into false AI ascension, or if you have what it takes to take the road less traveled. True freedom is the journey of the hero, the hero's journey. That's what we're here to do. The hero's journey, the what else is it called? I forgot, you guys, but we're born a pure creative spirit. We go through the indoctrination process, depending on where we're born, society, family, religious beliefs. We orient to the world based on those beliefs, and that creates a reality. At some point, we start to question, we start to wake up. What the heck actually is all this? We seek, we search, the hero's journey. We take our power back. We create a life that we love, okay? So unfortunately, most of the New Age gurus and their channeled messages of love and false light skim over the darkness, right? I get this a lot too. People say that what I talk about is New Age. It's not New Age. It's ancient knowledge. However, there is that, you know, people think, oh, the law of attraction, just think positive thoughts, and, you know, it's just all about being positive. No, you have to do the inner work. Not about spiritual bypassing. Okay. Darkness, leaving people trapped in an astral bubble of bliss, too afraid to see or do anything lest they burst their bubble and their world comes crashing down around them. Earth is overrun with spiritual people putting on their fake love and false light faces, pretending to be highly evolved beings, hiding their festering wounds and deep pain for fear of what others may think. The more others poke at their wounds, the more aggressive they become, because those are triggers. So like a wounded animal, they attack those who seek to help heal them. I say, pull out your wounds and scars, your broken hearts, for all the world to see, so you can rejoice in the lessons you have learned and your authenticity. We're all here to learn, grow, expand, and evolve. We all grow through things, you guys. We all have been through some shit, right? And now we have to shift that shit. Shift our mindset. Shift the stories. Shift the limiting beliefs. True ascension or transmutation requires you to face your shadow self so you can finally love it to death and rise above duality. Any ascension practice that does not take you on the inner hero's journey of facing your shadow self, your ego, all your fear, pain, sorrow, grief, guilt, shame, anger, hatred, etc., and transmute it, if you're not doing that work to transmute those negative lower vibrations within yourself, it's leading you into a false ascension matrix. All of the traumas buried deep within your soul must be brought into the light and transmuted with love. This does not mean you need to overindulge in shadow work, lingering in self-pity or self-hatred, but you must uncover the underlying root of the viruses running in your subconscious that are continuously corrupting your divine program, stealing your bliss, stopping you from flowing with source, and creating dis-ease. Ignoring it will only cause it to grow and fester. When you find it, you must forgive yourself and those who have trespassed against you. Forgiveness is the key to freedom. Forgive others, not for them, but for you. And most importantly, forgive yourself. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I forgives me. Ho'oponopono. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I forgives me. Shadow work, lingering, most importantly, forgive yourself. As you begin to have past life recall, you may discover you, too, have been part of the dark agenda. Forgive yourself for falling from the grace of God and from the Christ of light, infinite human being you are. Forgive yourself for not being able to heal or save those you love. Forgive yourself for becoming lost in the false light of deception. Know that all your experiences, even things you would consider bad, were part of your magnificent story of learning about yourself as part of the infinite. It's all working together for our good, you guys. Accept responsibility for everything that has happened to you. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. It's meant to teach us something, right? So even your fall into the lower densities of a fallen world, we live in a fallen world. We live in a world of separation. I believe separation was the fall of mankind. Believing that we're separate from God has disconnected us from it. This is the Infinite Human, an Ascension Guide for Awakening Infinite Humans, Starseeds, Twin Souls, and the co-creators of the new infinite 5D Earth. It is a great book. And let me see, where was I? Uh-oh, are we over here? No, I was over here. Here we go. Forgive yourself and happen to you, even if you fall into the lower densities of the fallen world. It's all part of the grand story in the mind of God, the divine dreamer. Neville Goddard said, God is your own beautiful human imagination. We're one body, one mind, one consciousness, all connected to this infinite eternal mind. Story, learn about yourself. It's all part of the grand story, the divine dreamer. It all happened just as it was supposed to happen. Your story has simply been a learning experience, a journey into the darkness of false light, so you could better appreciate and serve the true light. All these aspects of you, the good, the bad, and the ugly, have made you the unique human being you are to date. When all your traumas, past, present, and future, have been forced out into the light, this is often seen as the dark night of the soul. We've heard about this before, right? But instead of getting upset, embrace it for what it is, the darkness at long last releasing and purging itself from your soul. If you can learn to love your dark nights of the soul and see them as an opportunity to shed that which has been holding you back and keeping you out of the zone of true bliss, then you can truly grow from this gift. As you begin to accept yourself for who you truly are with all your wounds and battle scars, you will learn to love yourself. You can embrace all of you, even the defects of your dark side, and learn to love them to death. By loving and no longer resisting your darkness, it will no longer have any hold over you. You will no longer be locked into the conflict of duality, but move up into higher frequencies of true love and pure light. I am love. I am light. We are pure, unconditional love and light. You will no longer be locked into the conflict of duality. Move up. You will cease judging yourself and others. This is the key to true ascension, turning the baser metals into gold or the lower frequencies into higher frequencies of love, alchemy, using the power of love to transmute a negative to a positive, turning lead to gold, right? Turning your pain into power and purpose, your experience and your lessons into knowledge and wisdom for more joy and satisfaction in your life. This is the ascension. This is the real gold within you, not the fool's gold you seek in the outside world of illusion. It's all within us. Once you're able to love yourself with all of your flaws, imperfections, and scars, they will melt away, and whenever the dark side rears its ugly head, you will not fear it, but see it as an old friend come to teach you yet another lesson. When the lessons are learned, the teacher disappears, and you will truly transcend the darkness within yourself and the world around you. The dark side will no longer have any hold on you. Grief is also a very important part of the ascension process, and far too often it is swept under the carpet. Your own individual grief process must be honored. We live in a time where our world as we know it is gone. All the world is grieving. The first stage is denial, then anger, and under mad is always sad. We have lost the old earth. It is never coming back. I know this is a very difficult to accept, like the death of a loved one, and believe me, I have done my own share of grieving. There are those literally holding their breath, waiting for things to return to normal. The good old days are gone. What were the good old days, you guys? I think we're moving into the good old days. We are creating the new earth. What can be better than this? We were born for such a time as this, right? So, but were they really that good? I just said that before even knowing she was going to say it in the book. I have spent most of this book pointing out how broken our old earth was. True, it holds our memories, our old-time religions, our traditions, but like Stockholm Syndrome or a child of an abusive parent, we have fallen in love with our captors, our abusers, because we are loving creatures, and this has been all we have known. We're submitting to the systems unaware. Most people are unconscious and just, conforming to the systems. Be not conformed to the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I believe that our systems are anti-Christ. They are suppressing the Christ within us. Again, keeping us focused outside, looking, searching, waiting for something outside of ourselves. We have to be the change that we wish to see in the world, right? So we're moving into the new earth, like someone awakening from a coma. You'll reawaken to your rightful place in the God source worlds and wonder what on earth you have been doing down here for so long, living in squalor. Like we're walking around with our head in the clouds. Majority of people have no idea that they have power to create change, that they are creating their reality. Because again, we don't want to take radical responsibility for our life. I'm not creating this. This isn't what I want. I didn't ask for this, right? But not understanding you have the power to choose how you think, how you feel, and that creates your reality. And how you think and how you feel will lead to the actions that you either take or don't take, right? Faith without works is dead. You must take action in the physical world because it takes time to move through space. It takes time to get from one point of consciousness to another. So we have to take aligned actions. Like all heroes, you are reaching the top of the mountain. As you gaze down on the path you have climbed, you see it has been a long and treacherous one. You have lost many companions along the way. You have suffered many injuries and have many battle scars. But as you gaze out into the horizon, you can see the world below you from a new perspective. My daughter's snoring in the background. A world filled with busy people rushing around, going nowhere. A higher perspective you gained with each step you took on this climb. You feel a deep inner peace, a blissful ecstasy as you gaze down upon the world you left. From this higher perspective, we can see that the 3D world is still a mess. It's in chaos. To me, I call it the demolition process. We have to tear down the old before we can create the new. So when we demolish something, it gets messy, right? This is what we're seeing. The old paradigms are crumbling. Medical, education, governments, religious systems, they're all coming to an end. Like all heroes reaching the mountain, gazing down, you have suffered many injuries and have battle scars, but as you gaze into the horizon, you see the world. You rejoice in new awareness and all you have achieved by breaking away from the illusion and taking the road less traveled. Narrow is the way, you guys. At long last, it is time to claim your reward. The elixir of life. This is all the wisdom you have acquired from all your soul's experiences, journeys, and life stories. You have learned so much. All that information is within us, in our DNA, because we are energy. Energy doesn't die, it transforms. So we've been here before, and all the information from our past lives is within us, you guys. Ascension is the journey of the hero, heroine, the alchemist, the fool, the adept. Those brave souls who have the courage to leave behind the herd, and all that is familiar, because we stay stuck in the familiar. This is comfortable, right? Your subconscious just wants to keep you there in the familiar, in the known, where it's safe, in your comfort zone. All growth happens outside of our comfort zone, right? So we want to stand out, be different, break free, you guys, and go on the journey into the supernatural realms. Becoming Supernatural, great book by Dr. Joe Dispenza, right? Face their dark nights of the soul, their pain, fear, isolation, despair, and grief as they battle their own inner demons and emerge victorious with the elixir of life in hand. As infinite human beings, where are you in your soul's journey? Stages of Ascension and the hero's journey. This is the end of the chapter. Do I hear a baby? Okay. Stages of Ascension and the hero's journey. 1. Ordinary world. We find our hero or heroine in their everyday life, but there is a growing dissatisfaction. There is a longing for something new, but most likely you do not know exactly what it is you are longing for. You just know that the things that once held your interest and fulfilled you no longer do, and there is a desire to explore new territories both inside and outside of you. I'm past that. 2. Call to adventure. There is a call deep within your soul to step out of this ordinary world and begin your adventure. This call comes from a herald of something new that enters your life. It may be a person, a new job, a new project, or a world event. It may be a droid that lands in your planet with a holographic message from a captured princess, or a twister that pulls your home into a land of Oz. Wait, what? So the hero's journey, right? We get a call. We feel a calling. I felt called and made the decision to become a coach back in January 2020. The third step of Ascension and the hero's journey, refusal of the call. So the next phase is the refusal. You get scared, cold feet. You begin to think about what would happen if you actually stepped out your comfort zone and began to strive for those longings within to reach the stars and live your dreams. So most people refuse the call, right? Are you following your calling? 4, meeting with the mentor. It is at this point you meet your mentor. This can be an internal mentor or guide, i.e. your higher self, spirit guides, or it could be a person, a spiritual teacher, a soulmate, a coach, a book, a wise old wizard, a fairy godmother, or just a friend. These mentors prepare you for your adventure. They impact or impart wisdom, teach you skills, and give you tools which to face your enemies and the dark side. Some tools are internal, and some may be external, like a magical book or talisman. 5, crossing the first threshold. You buy that plane ticket, leave that farm, cross that bridge, go out on that date. You take that daring action to leave behind the familiar. You step out of your comfort zone. You start taking actions. 6, the 6th step in Ascension and the hero's journey: tests, allies, and enemies. Once you take off on your journey, leaving the familiar or the ordinary world behind, you enter into the world of extraordinary or supernatural. Again, Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza, a great book. This may be as bizarre as falling into the land of Oz, or as simple as opening a book. This is where you meet both friends and foes, those who support you in your soul mission and those who may oppose you. Right? We attract our soul tribe. We find those who are on a similar mission, soul mission, and we tend to lose people that are not meant to continue on with us in our journey. Hint, you will learn that those who oppose you may be your greatest allies because they teach you the most valuable lessons, mostly about the dark side, both around you and inside of you. Because everything outside of us is a reflection of our inner world. So every person, every situation, every circumstance, every experience is meant to teach us something, to help us grow. Right? It's that growth mindset. Not why is this happening to me, but what is this trying to teach me? My daughter is snoring. I'm finishing up here and I'm off this. 7, approach to the inmost cave. So eventually your journey will lead you to face what you fear most, your dark side, your inner demons, okay? You're doing the inner work, right? 8, ordeal. The ordeal is where the kiss of death occurs. This is where our hero dies. This may be symbolic or not. When Neo gets shot in the Matrix and dies, he then realizes the truth, that death is an illusion, and he's reborn as the one. The hero must let their finite self die, your ego. Your ego. We have to not die. It doesn't even have to die. It has to integrate with our being so that we can be reborn. This is the whole crucifixion and the second coming of Christ. It is within each and every one of us. 9 is the reward, the elixir of life. Once you have faced and overcome your dark side, your inner demons, you will be rewarded with your personal epiphany. This is a deeper understanding into the true nature of reality and who you really are. This knowledge will free you. This may come as a revelation of your soul mission, the reason you incarnated here on earth, or as a deeper understanding as to the nature of reality. I definitely feel I'm there, already on the 9th step of Ascension and the hero's journey. I know my mission and purpose. I know why I'm here on this earth. I have been obsessed with human transformation and the process of creation for about 5 years or more now, and studying all things about mindset and human potential, because I want to know, who am I? Why are we here? What is my purpose? What is our power? What is our potential? And I intend to reach it. 10 is the road back. As you journey back home with your reward in hand, tests still await you. These tests are there for you to solidify what you have learned from your ordeal and put them into practice. 11 is the rebirth. This is the moment the hero crosses the final threshold, the final test of the hero's true growth, to demonstrate their mastery and step into their own power. This battle pushes the hero to defeat their limitations and release their old finite self once and for all. They return home as the infinite human hero. 12 is return with the elixir. You have faced your dark side, learned your lessons, and obtained the elixir of life. Now it's time to share your wisdom with your home tribe. This is when you begin your soul mission. I'm already there. I have goosebumps all over you guys. Are you being called to an adventure? Are you in the dark night of the soul? Do you know your soul mission? Have you met your soul tribe? I am connecting with my soul tribe. Many of you here are my tribe. I already know this. It's just about how are we going to work together now, right? So have you met your soul tribe? Where are you at? Are you seeking and searching to find a deeper meaning, mission, purpose? Are you wanting to follow a calling that you feel within yourself? True to the nature of our spiraling universe, these stories continue repeating themselves each time, teaching us new lessons. So that, my friends, is the chapter in this book, The Great Work of Ascension. It's what we come here to do. It's what I believe is my soul's mission and purpose, to help others ascend to higher levels of consciousness as well. So I'm just going to throw this out there. If you want to learn more about this, if you want to learn more about the process that I use to rewire my self-sabotaging limiting beliefs, to do the inner work, to recode, to recalibrate, to restructure, to raise your frequency, to raise your vibration, to clear and cleanse, to purge, to detox, to heal your mind, body, and spirit, because that's what we're here to do. And then to integrate it all into one powerful personality moving forward. Just comment, reach out to me, and let's chat about the 5 steps to conscious creation, the magnetic mind method, you guys. So powerful. It's based on really advanced science, neuroscience, epigenetics, quantum physics, and spiritual concepts of alchemy, universal law, and hermetic principles. And it's used to rewire the programs in our mind and to recode our DNA so that we can reach higher levels of potential. And I would be honored to share this with anybody who's interested and wants to learn more if it resonates. I do a weekly coaching and accountability call to help you get really clear on your vision and start taking the aligned actions to remove what's in the way, decide what you want to create, and start moving towards it, you guys. And with that being said, I am going to get ready for bed. I hope you enjoyed this. I love you guys. I'm off this for now. Truth, love, and light. Have a namaste, and happy Wellness Wednesday, you guys. Stay magnetic. Bye for now.